Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be customizing, so I wanted to show you some of these blank bases that I will be working with. I mainly use blank bases when I customize because I have a pretty small collection, so I don't have any LPS that I can spare, and you can find these at DIYLPShome.com. LPS inflation is so crazy nowadays, so I'm actually really glad that I have these bases instead of having to splurge some money on real LPS. The bases are so crispy though, now I won't have to worry about ruining my LPS. I'm actually doing an anthropomorphic LPS custom though, so we're going to be looking at some LOL dolls. This one is so cute. I actually really love the sheen in her hair and her whole design. These were thrifted and chosen based off of their outfits though, because I do want to incorporate their clothes into my custom design. This LOL doll is not cute, but I chose her based off of her outfit for this custom, and I'm going to be putting a wolf cat head on that body. I started off by heating up this LPS with my blow dryer so that I could pop off the head more easily. My intrusive thoughts got to me, don't mind that. I've actually been putting this off because I've been so nervous on making an anthro custom until I saw LPS Emily's video where she did her anthro custom, and I was like, alright, let me see if I can cook actually. But then it goes horribly wrong. This is where it's going to go horribly wrong. So I used my blow dryer and heated up the neck because I needed to trim it down, and then I attempted to use a blade to chop the neck off, but then my hand slipped and I brutally sliced my finger, which I will spare you from seeing. Then I spent like a half hour patching it up and cleaning all the blood that went everywhere. Like, Emily, my girl, you are a pro! And to everyone else, please don't try this at home. Anyway, I ended up using these pliers. This was actually a lot easier and simpler for me to use. I can't believe I chopped my finger off. Anyway, at this point, I'm just eyeballing it and kind of testing out how low I wanted the neck to be and if it would look good. Afterwards, there were a lot of grooves in the plastic from using the pliers to clip it, so I used my nail drill to sand that down and make it look a little nicer. Then I used a different I hate voiceovers. Okay, I used a different drill bit to make the neck opening a little wider so I could shove the peg in. If you customize a lot, you need to just pick up a makeup brush from the dollar store, and it's so useful to sweep everything off. Anyway, I used super glue to secure the head in place, popped it on, and now she's bubbly. I wanted to tie in the look more, so I used epoxy sculpt clay to give her little paws. I drip a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol onto the epoxy clay because it makes it more smoothable and malleable, since regularly it's pretty tough. Oh god, this does not look right, but I'm just taking the blade and cleaning up the edges of the clay. And then I take the back of the blade and kind of form her little toe beans. So this is the result. She's ready to be painted, which is actually the hard part. Like, frankly, the sculpting and the head swap, that was the easy part. Oh, okay, wait, yeah, so actually before I started painting, I sanded down the clay a little bit just to make it a little more smooth using my nail drill. I actually am planning to upload a video showing you guys all of my tips that I have for customizing. But obviously, I'm not a pro or anything, so I'd love to hear of any customizing tips that you guys may have. So I start by airbrushing the doll body by giving it a white coating. Yes, I do cheat by not using a paintbrush with this, but it's so much quicker. It also gives me a really smooth base to paint off of. This is actually a very affordable airbrush that I have linked in my Amazon storefront. I tested out so many different cheap airbrushes, but this was the only one that really worked for me. I somewhat had an idea of what I wanted her to look like, but I started off by mixing some acrylic paint to make like this pale pink color. But I think you could only really notice when I place her next to this white bottle. So I did go back and tweak the paint color a little bit so that she showed up a little bit more of a pink. Next, I started painting the insides of her ears gray, which was actually really difficult because my hands are so shaky. And they also get very sweaty, so that's why I wear gloves, because otherwise the paint starts to flake off. Then I painted her ears white. Now the trick to having really smooth white paint is to just water it down and do hella layers. I'm talking about, I probably did like 20 to 30 layers of this white paint. But since it's thin, it dries fast, so it doesn't take too long. Now, I just went back and forth with the gray and white paint to clean up any mistakes. But this is the result of that, and it's looking really good so far. Airbrushing gets pretty messy, so I'm wrapping her in plastic wrap to protect the surfaces that I don't want painted, and then I just kind of sprayed little periwinkle hues on her ears, and then I wrapped up her torso. I thought it would be cute to do that same accent color on her cheeks. And then this is just me messing around because I was like, more! Let's give her more! It was stunning at this point. I was actually afraid because I was like, yeah, this could turn into a flop real quick at any given moment if I decide to proceed. I went over and did the gray in her ears again because it was just bothering me. The spray paint went over it and I needed to fix that. Then I took that same color I used for her skin and just kind of cleaned up the areas that the periwinkle sprayed out. Next, it was time for the actual designing, which had me really nervous. The worst part for me when I'm customizing is being a perfectionist because you nitpick and nitpick and nitpick until the point where you're just upset and you don't like the results. But now I'm finally learning to ease up on myself. Customizing is actually really relaxing for me now because I just blast my favorite songs and I'm in a whole vibe. Next, I moved on to the eyes, which is the absolute worst for me. I mean, I guess I kind of have a technique. I'll start off with the eyelashes. Oh my gosh, you can see how hesitant I am because my hands are so shaky. This is my first time filming myself customizing, by the way, so I'm super sorry if the angles are terrible. This is me kind of filling in the black a little bit more just so I can kind of see the shape of the eye and see how the eyelashes are looking. After I get done painting the eyelashes though, I go ahead and fill in the rest of the eye to be white. In my giveaway responses, I actually had quite a few people tell me that they like my voice or find it soothing, so this one's for you. Anyway, the next part in my eye technique is finally doing the eye shape or pattern. It's gonna look like I really butchered this, but I swear I didn't. I cleaned it up. I actually can't believe how short this video is because in reality, customs take me about 3 to 4 to even 5 hours, and that's how long this took. So I'm really hoping that this video isn't that boring and that most of you find it interesting at least. Here I'm just using white paint and cleaning up the pattern. Okay, now we're bringing the black paint down and finally getting ready to finish up this damn eye. Oh my gosh, they're taking forever. Honestly, when I started, I was like, man, people sell customs for really high prices, up to like $100. But then as I spent hours painting it, I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can sell this for 20 bucks like I wanted to. At the end of the day, you're buying art, which the artists used their precious time to create, and with their amazing skills, of course. Oh yeah, I attempted to do a design in her eye. I originally wanted it to be a moon, but I spent way too long trying to fix this moon and I just butchered it up. I swear I tried to fix it like a gazillion times, but I don't know. I was on like hour 4 of working on this and whew, filming yourself customizing takes even longer than just customizing. So, I mean, I did several things off camera, like tiny little details and whatnot, but those are clearly not moons at all. So, all that hard work, and I just erased it. I did have a different idea in mind though. I was like, okay, plan B, this has to turn out cute. So I used my dotting tool and attempted to do a little flower pattern for her eyes, and I actually really liked it. It turned out cute. After sealing her in varnish, this is the final outcome. She turned out so cute, and I think I did pretty well for my first anthro custom, despite butchering my finger. But yeah, I'm so proud of this one. Oh my gosh, my hands were so terribly shaky, but she still turned out very cute. This is what she looks like standing up. I'm so in love with her. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. This design was so cute. Yes, I'm done with the voiceovers. Ugh. Anyway, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video, and I'll see you soon.